Hello, hello, listeners and viewers. Welcome to another episode of What Is She Thinking? And your eyes do not deceive you. It is I, Dr. Heather Collins, doing the intro because I'm driving this episode. And on this episode, we want to know, what is the marvelous Melanie Marshall thinking? Melanie,
right now, I'm just hoping I'm going to think something.
So we are going to play a game, and this is actually round 2 of a game we played before. I love this game. And this is our What Is She Thinking game. I have 2 jars here. These are canning jars, ball, because I live in the South, and these are omnipresent. And in one jar, I have a list of locations Melanie has spent time in. And in another jar, I have a list of feelings or emotions. And I'm going to pull one piece of paper out of each jar. We'll read them out loud, and you'll find out what they are at the same time Melanie is. And Melanie, we would just love to hear some kind of story you might have linking that place with that kind of a feeling or experience. How does that sound?
Okay.
And
yeah, why not, right?
You get 3 passes because it might be that certain locations just don't match up with memories you have involving certain kinds of feelings or emotions. And that makes sense. We don't experience everything everywhere every time. All right, my friend, are you ready?
Yes.
Let's get into it.
Ooh. And just for the record, we played before, just as we're starting, we're playing this game partly because it is fun, but also there is a brain reason we do this, right, Dr. Heather?
We do. It's actually, without people realizing it, it's a memory game. So this is actually a game you could play at home with your friends, family, at work with your colleagues. And this is a great way to actually dig deep into your memory and remember things you might not have talked about or thought about for a very, very long time. So this is a great brain refresher.
And for me, it's a great way of connecting. It's a great way of forming connection, emotion, and then that gives us ways to dig deep into our purpose and move forward. So anyway, just to let you know, we're not just having a goofy good time or maybe a sad time. I don't know. Anyway, that's me also delaying. Let's get on with it. Okay.
First location is Bosnia.
Oh.
And humbled. Was there ever a time when you might have felt humbled in Bosnia? This is an interesting first one.
Okay, there were 2 times that I felt humbled. Oh, 3
times. Oh, we have a twofer.
Yeah, 3 times I felt humbled in Bosnia.
We have a threefer.
Okay. Number 1. We had gone to Bosnia to do a piece, believe it or not, about the return of a form of nationalism, sort of fascist nationalism. Some of you will remember, some of you might be too young to remember, the Balkan Wars that really ripped Europe apart. And there was so much horrible ethnic fighting, interethnic fighting, particularly in Bosnia-Herzegovina. So one of the ways I was humbled is I went with the amazing Alan Little, who was there during the worst of the fighting. And I remember we were driving up from Mostar, which had experienced horrible violence. And there was just a moment where I looked at him and I realized that he was back in time. He had tears in his eyes and he was just looking at Mostar because we'd been in the car having a lovely moment. And he was back in time, feeling the memory, pain of that.
Wow.
So, it was just because we were filled with they were a different ethnicity or religion, when it was under siege. It was a horrible place to be. And he and the woman we were working with, Sinead, that just sparked this conversation in the car, because we kind of pulled him back, about what made change. And we started talking about how really the other is exactly where you are in that moment on the square of turf in front of you with the people who are in front of you. And I was humbled. I was humbled.
Wow.
I was humbled by the depth of their feeling, of their dignity, and of their wisdom. Funny or humbling? After we had interviewed the guy who saw the Virgin Mary, and we were actually present for the vision of the Virgin Mary, we were going to interview one of these nationalists who was using this religious fervor, this Catholic fervor, to try and build a nationalist movement. So the guy was a fascist. And we were waiting, and it was really hot. And so we decided to get some ice cream, because we thought, like, let's have an ice cream. And so we were set up. Well, eating ice cream. I don't know how you're taking us back to the battle days. Are you really sure that this nationalism is a good idea? There was just something humbling about being caught off guard, right? About being caught off guard, that we were in this very human space when we were supposed to be these very tough journalists.
I love this. I also love the message that it's never wrong to eat ice cream.
And look, at the end of the day, if you're going to challenge a fascist, you might as well have an ice cream.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Strategically, I think that might have worked out, actually. That might have taken his guard down a little bit.
Yeah, it might have, because I think he was like, what do I have to fear from this woman?
Yeah, she's eating ice cream. She can't be dangerous. Little did they know.
The threefer is, as we were finishing, we had, we'd spent these days doing all this filming. There'd been so much that had gone into all of this, of trying to understand where this place was now, and understanding how religion and nationalism were feeding into each other. Always important topics, as anybody could look at the world and understand now. And I said, I'm so glad we did this. And somebody else on the team said, I'm so glad we did this. And it became clear that all of us thought that we had done it because the other person had wanted to do the film. And basically, we realized that we'd all been slightly stupid in a lot of different. It was the other person's idea. To show us during really deep discussions about, Catholic youth parades, thinking we were on somebody else's journey. And everybody else thought we were on theirs. And it took us till the end of the trip to figure it out. And that was humbling too. So, that's something to keep in mind. Sometimes try and figure out whose trip you're on at the start. Or you end up in something which Tony called conceptually loose. A conceptually loose film.
Metaphorically and literally.
Yeah, that was a long one. Sorry, that was a long one. Got to go again.
I thought that was going to be challenging, being humbled in Bosnia. Apparently, being humbled in Bosnia is a thing.
Oh, yeah. Like, you could just, throw a rock and you'll be humbled in Bosnia.
Are you ready for round two?
I'm ready for round two. Sorry, that one took so long.
No, that was great. I thought we were going to get one stories. We got 3 fabulous stories. Buy one, get 2 free. I love it. Okay, let's prime the pump with the next location of Nanjing.
Oh,
Nanjing. And right now, ladies and gentlemen, and these and thems and theys, we are watching Melanie's amygdala flood her brain with emotions and
oh.
her hippocampus just getting tickled with reminiscences. And we have Horrified. Is there a time when you may have been horrified in Nanjing?
Could you? What? It happened already, right? You saw it happen. Did you see?
I saw the scarf double as a face covering and a little hiding action happening there. So was there a time you were horrified in Nanjing?
I was thinking to myself, if any positive emotions came out of that bloody jar, I was giving it a pass because I actually call it. I'm probably going to get in trouble for this, but I refer to it as the Nanjing Massacre. I have been to Nanjing once in my life, and we were trying to interview somebody from the Falun Gong movement. Some of you will know that movement from being persecuted, and it's illegal under Chinese law. They believe it is anti-government. So you'll often see them protesting outside Chinese consulates and embassies around the world. So we were trying to interview somebody from that movement. And we had set it up that it was going to happen in Nanjing. We went there for that sole purpose. I don't know. Horrified is such a bad word to use for like failure. Because I mean, the good news is
we can interpret the feeling loosely. That's okay. That's okay.
Very strong. Anyway, we mentioned, you know, is obviously the Japanese people, just because we had set up multiple hotel rooms under multiple cars with multiple vehicles, safety, like a safety person who is introducing us to this individual. This is to give you an idea of how this kind of thing works in practice, right? You have the person that is going to introduce you to the person who is going to be, and you have the place that you are going to, one of them will be in public, and not that you will meet there, but they can see you and they can see that you are in. And then people could follow you and see you. The cameraman then waited 8 hours where he just set up the lights over and over and over again. If you want to ask me what I most remember about this, for whatever reason, it was him just changing the lighting setup over and over and over again while I tried to figure out safe ways for our interviewee to get to us, where they could get rid of the tail that was on them and get in a vehicle with us. 8 hours. Never did it. And the person who was, I'm sorry, this is but I mean, that's what I'm saying. Horrified, failure. At the end of the day, they managed to get away. The person who was supposed to be organizing the meeting, I believe, was questioned, not detained, was questioned about whether or not they were trying to assist any sort of meeting. We were not detained. because there was no proof we were doing anything wrong except maybe being historical. And the cameraman had to just take down his lights, back them up. And I don't know why that has such a strong emotional memory for me, but yeah, let's move on. God.
The poor camera. Well, but possibly because you were running into a brick wall for 8 hours. I mean, that's
yeah, and worrying, like just that feeling of being so close to this other human and the other human, so close, but not like literally being able to see them across the street. Like, or wouldn't be able to actually connect or let them get in the car with us because there was too much of a threat of intelligence or police picking them up if they made contact with us. 8 hours of that.
Wild. That is wild.
Subways, parks, hotel lobbies, and me playing my best versions of, what? Me? Who? What? And then every once in a while going back to the hotel room to a completely different lighting setup.
Yeah, that's, you'll notice, by the way, one of the words not in this jar is wild, because pretty much all of your stories are wild experiences. That would have been too easy. Way too easy. So now that you've relived your horrified experience in Nanjing, you ready for the next one?
Yeah, maybe I need to go back to Nanjing and redo it, but I'm sorry to the person who tried to help and that guy. Okay. Yep.
Yeah, that is something. Ooh, we have Sierra Leone. Sierra
Leone.
And
isn't it interesting how we have these autumn devices? Yeah, okay.
Oh, I'm purely enjoying just looking at your reactions. I hope we actually get a social media clip of just your immediate reactions. They are priceless. They are priceless. Oh, and we have Happy in Sierra Leone.
Okay. Well, my whole experience there. Okay, so Sierra Leone wasn't that the place with the child soldiers and the Sierra Leone is also that despite high levels of poverty has an amazingly educated population who are so friendly, so welcoming. And when I went there with our local BBC correspondent, who is a rock star there. And I believe will one day leave the country. His name is Umaro Fofana. He is just like going out with him, it is like being with a prime minister. So he comes to get you at the airport and people are like, oh, I listen to you every day. And you're just like, wow, I'm with the prime minister already. And it made me so happy. And I'm like, when you're with someone who has such inherent dignity, like you could just feel it in their bones. And you just think, this man could run a country or sweep the streets and he would still give off this aura of absolute inherent dignity. And I just think he is incorruptible. He is full of love for his work and his people, and being with him and working with him, having the privilege to experience his country with him made me happy, just happy. And so that's the first thing that comes to mind is him. And still, when I hear a report from Sierra Leone that he has done or something he's written, I'm always like, ooh, but I'm still waiting for him to be in charge, because I'm sure he is the future of African leadership. And when we were there, we had so much fun because Sierra Leone is on the water. It's beautiful. It has these beautiful beaches. Maybe you don't know that, but it is true. And there is amazing music. There used to be this group called the Sierra Leone Refugee All-Stars, and they were playing one of the nights that we were there. So myself and Alan Little, who I was in Bosnia with, and Fred Scott, amazing cameraman, and Umaru went down, and we got to see them play, and everybody was dancing and grooving, and this amazing, like, wonderful music. And I just felt happy, so grateful to be there, to be doing that work, to be experiencing the culture. I just felt happy.
I love that. I love that. That story is like a warm hug. Oh, fantastic. How beautiful. You're glowing.
Yeah, I'd love to go back. Actually, I'd love to go back. Like, it's fun, and like so many of my images from there, aside from Amaro, are like visual images, like the big baobab trees and the fabrics, and then their audio. It's like laughter and music. It's that kind of. And then if I follow that, oh my gosh, I totally forgot about this. I can't believe I forgot about this. We went out to one of the villages, and we had such a good time in one of the villages. We were so welcomed. We were doing all this filming, and then I can't remember why. I can't tell you why this happened, but I think, so first off, I wanted to go because somebody there was very into marrying me. And so I had wanted to, like,
hold the presses. That's another story.
I totally forgot about that one. So, like, very into it. Like, one of the more, like, I think, yeah, I should ask Amara about this, because he would be like, Melanie, you're remembering it wrong. And like,
one of Melanie's many suitors.
But it was, and so I was kind of like, how do we get out of this, like, greatly? And it was like, oh, I have to go back to the hotel. I can't stay because I have to go back and do some editing. And so I was going to take a taxi back, so that I didn't insult the chief, and that I, kind of kept things sweet without, getting married. And so I had to take a taxi back, and it was like a blast, because, like, if look, you can ride in the expensive BBC paid for 4x4, or you can ride in the African taxi with the windows down, the red dirt coming up, and there are literally animals in the car with you, right? And there are people, and there's a kid sitting on my lap, and but you are alive. Like, you feel alive. Well, I do.
I love this, and now I want to go to Sierra Leone. This sounds
you should go to Sierra Leone.
Amazing. This sounds amazing. And Melanie's available for trip planning too, if you ask her nicely. So just something else that she has in her skill set.
It is one of the things I want to do. One of the things I want to do with some of the leaders and C-suite folks that I speak to is I want to take a group of people out into the world that I see this year. So we're going to go out on a trip called The Great Beyond, and just like, you guys, you want to understand how this world can teach you how to move through uncertainty. We are going to go. I'm not going to take you anywhere you'll get shot at, but we're going to go somewhere cool.
Oh, this is going to be so valuable. And maybe you'll invite your favorite neuroscientist for some brain tricks along the way.
Of course. Yeah. Take you somewhere with kitties. I'll take you somewhere with kitties. Big kitties.
What is she thinking? The globe-trotting expedition. It's happening, people. It's happening.
I dig it. All right. What else you got for me? Oh my gosh. I can't believe I totally forgot about that taxi ride away from marriage. I should have taken it, actually. I could have been a chiefess.
This is one of the beautiful results of this game. You remember things that you haven't thought about in so long, and they can bring you so much joy and meaning and pleasure.
Yeah, it's true.
We have Brazil. We have Brazil. Now, what is going to go along with Brazil? Out of this jar, we are pulling confused. Confused. Is there a time when you may have experienced the sensation of being confused in Brazil? Is that a thing that's happened in Melanie Marshall's life?
Was that Brazil that they did that to me?
I love that question. Go with that if you can't think of Brazil.
Okay, I'm going to go with this. I'm pretty sure it was
confused.
I'm pretty sure this was Brazil, and I think it was confused. Can it be annoyed as well? Can it be annoyed?
Well, oftentimes being annoyed results from confusion, right?
I think it was because I didn't feel very much in control, and I didn't feel very safe. And let me tell you this. Okay. So I've been to Brazil a few times. Amazing country, gigantic. So there's lots of different ways to experience Brazil. In this case, we were going deep into the Amazon. As part, because we were going to do a story about illegal logging, there had been a nun, Dorothy Stang, who had been murdered by loggers to try and send a message that they were going to do what they wanted to do. And I had seen that story, and I knew that story would connect with people, right? That this woman's death would connect. So we were going to do this story. And thank you to the people who backed that back then. I got a facility with the Brazilian military to fly out and go on one of their patrols. Patrolling the Amazon, I don't have it to hand, but the Amazon is big. So patrolling the Amazon is hard. It's one of the reasons it's difficult to deal with logging. Even now, this was like, I don't know, this was a long time ago. This was probably almost 20 years ago. Oh my God. Anyway, Cookie and Chuck, Cookie, my work dad, Chuck, one of my longest working colleagues, cameraman, amazing guy. They were going on the helicopter. And for some reason, I couldn't get on the plane or the helicopter. And so it was decided that I was going to ride in a van by myself out into the Amazon, not speaking any Portuguese, to get to the military base. And that happened to me a lot. Like, people think like, oh, you're always safe. You're always protected. You've always got somebody with you. No. The choice was, do I want this facility? No. We're doing a story about the dangers of, violent, illegal loggers. And it was just me and some driver bouncing around for 6 or 7 hours because we didn't know how long it was, didn't have a phone signal, so I was confused and annoyed. Boy, was I annoyed. Oof.
You don't want to see her annoyed.
And it was like one of those things where every once in a while you're just sitting there thinking, wow, like this is crazy. And like that kind of stuff did happen to me actually quite a bit, where I would be like, when I talk to you about it now, or and I talk to people I'm speaking to, when I sometimes accidentally tell my mother about this stuff, I get that it sounds weird to you guys, right? Does it sound strange to you to just like hop in a minivan and drive off into the Amazon?
Girl, you don't even know. This is one of the things I love about doing this, is because friends, listeners, viewers, Mel and I are friends. We chat a lot offline, not just during this show. And Melanie will roll off with a story of, so the one time I was interviewing the Taliban and blah, blah, and the one time I was licking an ice cream cone while I was interviewing a fascist. And the fun thing is, she says these stories as if like, oh, I was eating my Wheaties yesterday morning for breakfast. And it's the same nonchalance, because these things have happened to you so many times, Melanie, that they're so routine to you. And my usual response, as you know, is like, wait, what? Wait, what is a normal response? And the funny thing is, your main point is never about the wait, what? And we could actually title this episode Wait, What? Because so many of your stories elicit that kind of response, because you've had just these amazing, wild, crazy, fascinating, interesting, unusual experiences. And I love that we are able to showcase those experiences and what you've learned from them and how that relates sometimes to what's happening in your brain.
But what I think is more important is, the truth is that underneath, right?
Yeah.
Like, I didn't know where I was going, but I knew I knew that I had the resources to connect with the driver. I knew most people are good, and that if we needed help, the odds were that we would be able to seek help. And that if I had to divert from my goal, which was to reach my team and find safety for the evening, I could divert from my goal and find safety for the evening and then pick it up again. Right? Like at the end of the day, yeah, the wait, what is true, right? It's like being on the road from Sierra Leone trying to escape, forced marriage to a chieftain. It is.
For example.
As
one does.
As one does. And by the way, guys, road safety. Road safety is one of the most important things. Always check for seatbelts. If I was going to tell you to do anything, check for seatbelts if you can. But then sometimes you just have to accept life is uncertain. So it's not about, like, I never worried that much about the things that were kind of uncertain. I thought about, okay, well, I have the tools to make it through, right? Oh my God, the number of times, like, broken down by the side of the road in Uganda. And it's like, oh, well, this is happening. And, it's all the same road underneath. Human nature is the same underneath. And the resources we have are the same underneath. And so for me, I love remembering these things because it reminds me of the beauty that is out there. It reminds me of all of these people who are trying to make the world better, and how much of that is happening in small incremental ways that even with everything I've seen, I've forgotten. So I love playing this game for that reason, because that's why I do what I do.
And I think that was the perfect ending story, and it led us into this beautiful moment. And the wait, what? It's because so much of your life and your experiences were that the only thing certain was uncertainty. Mm-hmm. And this is what I love about what you're teaching the world about navigating uncertainty, and your message about how people are always good and there's always a reason to have hope. These are such powerful threads throughout your experiences, and I feel privileged and thankful that we are able to hear about these things from you.
Thank you so much. Thanks for playing this game. We've got to, okay, guys, we are going to make this a game, by the way. We are going to get cards printed. You're going to be able to buy this. We're committed.
It's happening.
It's happening. We aren't going to make Bosnia. You don't all have to have Bosnia, because I have a couple of friends who could play that one, but I don't know about everyone.
This game is specialized to Melanie because of locations, but for you can play this game at home with a friend, family member. This is great for work events, for getting to know people better. And it doesn't have to be location. These feelings, these kinds of emotions, those are universal. It's what goes in your second jar. Is it common experiences you've had with somebody? Is it common experiences we shared with everybody? Is it, a pet, some objects that make you think of things? Is it recent things that have happened in your life or somebody else's life? So I would like to urge you to think about what goes in your second jar that can help you dig deeper into some of these memories and experiences.
All right, folks, we are going to see you soon. We're hoping to do a show live from South by Southwest. More on that. But in the meantime, follow, subscribe, give us some love. And until then, what is she?
Thinking.